When we previewed Ravenswatch back in May of last year, we said it'd be a shoo-in for one of the best co-op games of 2024. Coming off the high of playing Hades last year, I know, we were a little late to it, but even so, Ravenswatch is sadly what we wanted. Basically Hades, but with 4-player online co-op. Now that we've played the full build though, I have to admit that's selling Ravenswatch way short. Yes, it feels just as good as the best roguelikes on the market, but it also brings with it some super interesting mechanics we've yet to see in the genre. And best of all, it does all of that under a co-op framework. So ultimately, was our early assessment of Ravenswatch as one of the best co-op games of 2024 spot on? Let's find out.
Ooh, dude, look at his health bar. Oh my god.
Holy shit, bro.
Wow.
Oh
that was wild.
God.
Dude, forget it. I said we just kill him.
Yeah, fuck it.
Forget that.
Yeah,
I went in there and used I
go.
switched to Wolf and I got other super. I was like, forget it, man. He's done.
Oh my god.
Got my freaking giant mechas in there. Just man, everybody was doing work.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Ease of play could not be more simple for Ravenswatch, so I'll keep it quick here. It's an online-only cooperative game with up to 4 players. As of right now, the game is exclusive to PC but will be coming to console sometime this fall, so crossplay capabilities are unknown as of right now. To join up with friends, you can simply invite them in the main character/difficulty select screen through your platform of choice. You can also play with randoms through this menu too. The game has full shared progression. After each run, you'll all retain your character progress, and if you beat a difficulty, you'll all unlock the next one. One key difference is that in solo play, you can save and exit a run between chapters, but during multiplayer, you cannot. And that's everything you need to know to get started, but what will you actually be doing? Let's tackle that.
No!
No way!
Oh my
Damn.
gosh! That's what I'm saying with
We
these
still gotta
side
kill him too.
quests.
We still got a lot of XP though.
Dang, we were so close.
Yeah, that hurts. We were right there.
With that brief ease of play section out of the way, let's dive into the gameplay loop for Ravenswatch. So you might recognize some of the characters we're playing, or their names should ring a bell at the very least, like say Aladdin or Beowulf, and that's because each character here is plucked from famous folklore. The premise of the game sees these different heroes united to defeat the Master of Nightmares plaguing the land of Reverie. To that end, you'll have to fight through 3 different chapters, each featuring a different map full of unique enemies and encounters. Unlike most roguelikes that see you go room to room, here you have a wide open map to explore. The catch is you're under a time crunch. See, each run or chapter features 4 days and 4 nights with a timer taken away as you play. During this time, it's up to you to fight enemies and take on encounters, with the overall goal of getting as powerful as you can to fight the boss of that chapter at the end of the 4th night. There are plenty of ways to beef up your character though. Fighting enemies, for example, helps you level up, which grants you an upgrade from 2 or 3 options. These upgrades are unique to each character, there's different rarities to them too, and the selection is random save for you always get your ultimate ability at level 5. But leveling up is simply not enough. You want to complete certain encounters that grant you additional upgrades to augment your character abilities or get general perks like extra crit damage and such. You always start a run from a fixed location and then slowly uncover the map to find new encounters like side quests, grimoires, or vision towers, which actually reveal different points of interest for you on the map. Each point of interest is also part of a color-coded system of difficulty, so a green chest will spawn easier enemies than say a red chest on the map. All the while, you also want to collect as many dream charts as you can in order to level up your upgrades at the Sandman before you take on a boss. Completing all 3 chapters takes around an hour, and each time you complete a run, whether you beat all 3 chapters or not, you get some post-run rewards. Each character can be ranked up to unlock new upgrades or alternate abilities that you can obtain on a run. Additionally, you're encouraged to play different characters, as completing the first chapter with each of the 4 starting characters unlocks a second set of heroes. But completing a run isn't the end of the game, as there's 4 difficulties to unlock, and you want to at least complete the game on the 3rd difficulty if you want to see all of it, hint hint. I think that succinctly covers the gameplay loop, so with my job well done, let's finally get to how all this plays in co-op.
Skill.
Let's go.
Nice,
Almost
simple.
2 people. Let's go, dude.
Simple.
Simple. Come on, clean. Let's go, dude. It's huge.
From a cooperative perspective, Ravenswatch is giving that meme with the guy where he makes the sound.
Nice.
In other words, it's real nice. I'll cover two main things, character kits and decision making. Both make this game a blast to play with friends. Okay, so first up is the characters. The team at Pastech knocked this group out of the park. Each character feels wholly unique from the next and totally changes your playstyle. Going from Red to the Snow Queen to Geppetto to the mermaid that I can't pronounce might as well be an entirely new game. A common phrase we would often say after trying a new character is, "This feels totally different from fill-in-the-blank previous hero I was just playing." And they all hit that sweet spot where it seems difficult at first and is mechanically very deep, but only takes like half a run to start to get comfortable with them. From a co-op perspective, we love this because it helps us all feel both unique and vital to the party. When our friend Christian is playing as Geppetto and putting out puppets to grab aggro, and Gabe is putting debuffs on the enemies with Carmilla, as I play Cleanup Crew as the big bad wolf in Red, we feel like a well-oiled machine. There aren't too many directly cooperative mechanics in the characters, a few abilities might heal or offer a minor buff. There's just enough to remind you the devs did build this game from the ground up as a cooperative experience, and we really like that. For instance, one of Sun Wukong's main abilities allows you to buff your close allies with a shield when you switch stances, or a talent you can choose during a run with Aladdin heals your friends when you catch your blades. And like I said, these kits are very deep. As you play a character and level them up with their overall progression that's outside of a run, you unlock different abilities to try out in your next run. Each kit has the ability to change how that hero feels on a run-by-run basis, adding a lot of satisfaction to taking the time to master your chosen hero. Overall, it's one of our favorite examples of hero-based gameplay we've experienced in a co-op game. Next up is the decision making you're going to do as a team. Gabe already explained the gameplay loop well, but for us that was a unique loop unlike any roguelike we've played before, outside of Tribes of Midgard, but that's a pretty niche title that we've loved in the past. The roguelike loop in Ravenswatch of needing to power up by taking on different objectives on a map within a time limit means you have to be on the same page at all times. You have to decide your route, when to take on enemies, when to challenge bosses, when to use your supers. It all requires near constant communication and an understanding of your teammates' playstyle. Yes, before you get into a run, you're going to be discussing what's the team makeup, how does this hero work with that hero. Plus there's tons of enemy variety you have to learn and communicate with. Some enemies will heal and buff their allies, some enemies will spawn more allies, some just hit really hard. You gotta be calling out what's happening or you're gonna go down real quick. That doubles for boss fights, where the mechanics lend themselves well to co-op too. In the first boss fight alone, you learn the importance of sticking together to take out adds and then saving up your biggest punches for when the boss's guard goes down. This game is hard, like quite possibly too hard, more on that in the next section, but that difficulty forced us not to just get good, but get good together. Gabe and I have always been a sucker for that, having grown up in the Soul series together, and that feeling of overcoming a seemingly impossible challenge together is a big reason why we got hooked on Ravenswatch. It was so satisfying to finish a run successfully. But that difficulty I mentioned is something we need to dive into a little bit more, so let me hand the mic back to my boy.
Shadow Clone Jutsu.
Free!
Did you guys see my monkeys? Oh my god,
Hell
the
yeah,
mecha.
dude.
Yeah.
We hit all of our ultimates there. That was hot.
That was hot,
awesome.
dude.
Just sure you clip that, my guy.
I will.
Well, if it isn't obvious, we've come away pretty positive on Ravenswatch. Were we right on the money last year? I think so. Naturally, it's hard to really point out any significant downfalls with the co-op, but we did see some issues with the game as a whole that affected our enjoyment from time to time. One thing that can have a pretty big effect on your runs is RNG. Since the maps are randomly generated, you'll sometimes start a run that feels off from the start. Maybe the closest vision tower is super far away, or the side quest might spawn next to a really hard encounter. And sure, you can power through it, but this is already a difficult game, so starting a run with the odds stacked against you from the start can sometimes dampen the fun. And as Andrew was hinting at, this leads me to a conversation on difficulty as a whole. Ravenswatch is a tough game. Just the starter difficulty is pretty hard, as we barely beat the third boss on our winning run. The difficulty then ramps up pretty significantly from the starter difficulty to the second tier. We definitely had runs where we're all playing our best characters, putting together some solid builds, playing smart, and we would still lose to that third chapter boss. All to say, I wish the game was tuned a bit better and there could be a smoother transition between difficulty tiers. There is a modifier system that lets you add on mods, like say starting with 500 dream shards or more mats hells and such. I'm happy these options exist for those who want to experience the game but don't have time to grind it out. The only issue is that even if you beat a chapter with these mods on, you won't unlock the next difficulty tier. I don't know that there's an easy solution here. Difficulty is a subjective topic for sure, and like Andrew said, we actually like that Ravenswatch is a hard game. But hopefully they can find a better balance with some future patches.
Oh god, I almost just died too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. You go in the middle there, and it's like a lot going on. I'm gonna die again, dude.
I died.
We all died. We just lost. Dang,
I'm
bro.
using Raven's Feather. I'm back.
Yeah, we can use Ray Feather come back. And then...
Yeah, as we close out, we want to answer the question, is this for you and your best friend? I'm tempted to glowingly say yes, but I really can't because it's only for you and your best friend if you crave difficulty in the same way we do. If you like difficult roguelikes, Ravenswatch is such an easy recommendation. But if you don't, this isn't about to change your mind on the genre as a whole. It sits firmly on the roguelike side of the scale, not roguelite. Your meta progression outside of a run doesn't make a hero more powerful as much as it just makes them more varied to play with, so it comes down to a matter of skill if you're going to get to the end of a run in this game. But as a roguelike, it'll go down as a favorite. There were so many nights playing this where the classic one more run feel took over and we stayed up way past our 30-year-old bedtimes. Both Gabe and I have spent multiple hours outside of the game watching build videos and completing solo runs in our free time just to try and get better at our favorite characters. I truly can't get over how well each character plays. Plus the game looks and feels great. The dark storybook theme is nailed, not just in your character kits, but the enemies you face and the NPCs you meet along the way. They even made sure that depending on which hero you bring into battle, they'll chirp at each other with unique pieces of dialogue. Maybe they say a line one too many times, but I still like that. And then back at the compendium, you have fully voiced story backgrounds for each hero that were surprisingly something I ended up getting way more into than I normally would. It's just a solid package that'll easily be one of our top co-op games of the year. If the game could just be a little bit better balanced on the difficulty side, I could recommend this to everyone, but for the ones who know this is for them, yeah, Ravenswatch is a banger.
That's all for today, guys. Thanks for watching. If you're playing Ravenswatch yourself, give us your thoughts on the game by sounding it off in the comments below. If you're new to the channel, we cover all things co-op games, and if you like co-op roguelikes, then make sure you're subscribed as we're working on a list video compiling our top picks in the genre. Lastly, a big thank you to our Patreon producers who help keep the channel running. We'll catch you next time on another episode of The Co-op Bros.
I spent exactly how much I had.
That's awesome.
I have zero.
These monsters.
She'd have beat their hides with her broomstick, like she once did me.
I miss her too.
Wait, what? You tell Geppetto and my grandma? That's a thing?
Yeah, bro, you know I get that.
I'm dead. I'm literally dead.
You know Geppetto be visiting your grandma, bro.
Holy shit.
I built her a
That's so
puppet or
amazing.
two.
Most specialist at active feeds.
Oh man, that's too good.